Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me on another hike. Today I am in Rainier National Park. I'm hiking the Skyline Loop. It's going to be a little over 5.5 miles. I might do a couple of trail offshoots. There's a lot of trails leading off the main trail, so it might be a little bit more. Elevation gain should be around 1,800 feet. And you can see I'm out here before sunrise. I've already hiked a little over a mile. I've got about 700 feet of climbing already. And you can start to see a little bit of a sunrise here. There's some nice colors. Unfortunately, there's no clouds to make it even better. But we'll deal with whatever we're dealt with. And right behind me, there's Rainier. So we'll see. Trying to get some nice pictures out here. Surprised there was. I've already seen 5 other people out here on the trail. Usually I never see anybody out here before sunrise. So it's a nice little surprise to see some other people out here enjoying the trail and enjoying a sunrise. Look at Rainier. Hopefully we get some nice light on that and I'll get a nice shot of that. Just starting to get some nice light on this mountain here. Mount Rainier, that is. Too bad there's no clouds. Sorry I keep mentioning clouds, but it's something I think is important. To me, at least, it is. There is some nice color in the sky, though. I'm going to have to look up after I'm done recording this. I'll put it on the screen now, but I'll have to look up to see which peak that is. Rainier is a volcano. I'm not sure if it's active or inactive, but it's definitely a volcano. I believe this might be part of what was the cone. It looks like a nice spot where lava would have flowed down right through here. And Rainier is the 4th tallest peak in the United States. Only McKinley in Alaska, Whitney in California, and Elbert in Colorado are taller. I have no plan to do Whitney or McKinley. They're pretty difficult. Actually, I don't know, McKinley, if you do it as a 2-day hike, it's doable, but definitely not McKinley. Only a small fraction of people that try it actually get to the top. But Mount Elbert in Colorado is definitely on my list of peaks to climb. Maybe next year, hopefully next year. So pretty up here. Getting some nice first morning light on some of these peaks now. Let me zoom in a little closer. Very pretty. This over here looks like it might have been another volcano. Definitely looks like a cone there. Mount St. Helens isn't far from here, so maybe that one peak I was speaking of earlier, that might be Mount St. Helens. I know I'm looking south in that where that peak is, and I know Mount St. Helens is south of here, so that's what it might be. But just a beautiful morning in a beautiful place. You zoom in down here, you can see the trail that I used a little bit that I came up on. Just looked up and I see this stone structure up there. I have no idea what that is. If someone knows, please leave a comment below. I'd be interested to know what that is. I'll ask about it when I get down to the visitor center. I was just talking to a nice young lady. She's sitting down there. She helped me out with some of these mountains. This mountain here in the foreground is Mount Adams. Behind it, the taller one that I thought might have been St. Helens is actually Mount Hood, and that's in Oregon. And then Mount St. Helens is that one up there. Let me see, I'll zoom in a little bit. That's St. Helens right there. And then I was also told that this stone structure I videoed earlier is a pit toilet, which I thought was interesting. Build one way out here. But if you got to go, that's where you got to go. All right, I'm about 2.5 miles in, a little over 1,500 feet of climbing. Oh, by the way, this area here, where these people are sitting, that's Panorama Point. And I took some pictures of this over here. There was some nice fog. You get to see the sun. It was a pretty little shot, I think. I'll post my pictures at the end of the video. So if you're sticking around till now, wait till the very end. And I'll post my pictures then. All right, onward and upward. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to make one more correction. Not this peak in the foreground, but the taller one back there, that's Mount Adams. And if I pan this way a little bit, I got to zoom in more. Where is it? Come on, where is it? Way off in the distance. I think you can just barely see it. There it is. Way off in the distance there. That's Mount Hood. That makes more sense. That's much further away. That's in Oregon. And this nearer one, that's Mount Adams. I think I got it finally right. Sorry for all the confusion. But at least I think I finally got it right. Okay, I've been slowly making my way downhill. Still looking for wildlife. Haven't seen any, other than that deer I saw while it was still dark out. But I'll keep looking. Hopefully if I do see something, I'll turn the camera on and show it. I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention, that that parking lot, and there's another parking lot that's a good size off to the right, about less than a quarter mile, a couple hundred yards to the right. Both of those were full when I got here around 11:30 yesterday afternoon. I had to drive around those lots about 3 times before I got lucky and someone pulled out and I was able to get a spot. But it's what, September 23rd today, And I was surprised how busy this park is. I asked one of the park employees if that's normal for this time of year, and he goes, yeah, this park stays busy. I was at the Olympic and also North Cascades National Parks before I came here. And they were, I mean, there was people there, but not nearly as busy as this place. So if you want to do this trail or any of these hikes around here, come early so you can get a parking spot and there'll be less people. Wow. I just noticed some people up on the ridge up there. I think that's where I was just at a little while ago. I don't know if I can zoom in high enough, far enough. Whoops. I don't know if you can see them. There's people up there. I was just up there. All right. About 3.5 miles in, over 1,700 feet of climbing. A little bit more hiking uphill. I say once I get a little further down before I finish. I guess I got about another 3 miles to go. Oh, another view of Rainier. So I was talking to a couple other people on the trail, and they had pointed out a mountain goat, but he was way in the distance, laying down in the grass. Someone lent me their binoculars so I could see it a little better. There's no way I could zoom in close enough to show you. But someone else had told me they had seen 4 mountain goats, but they're in another direction, so I don't think I'm going to see those. And then I was also told there was a couple of girls that videoed a bear this morning. So everybody's been lucky seeing animals, except for me. Oh, I mentioned that I was at Olympic National Park and I was up at the Hurricane Ridge. And I had wanted to hike that, but there was so much smoke from the fires in the area that it was unhealthy to breathe, and you couldn't see anything because it was like you were in a cloud. It was very smoky. So I left there early. But this gentleman I was talking to was just there, I guess, a couple days ago, and he said there wasn't any smoke, but he said he saw a mountain lion and on the ridge. It was chasing some deer. Like, come on, how lucky can you get? I don't have that kind of luck lately. I'm glad someone got to see that. Someday I'll still be doing a lot more hiking and visiting parks. So I'm going to keep my eyes open and hopefully I'll see more. Some great views here, just amazing. All right, more hiking to do. Passed another couple as I was coming down. They were on their way up. They said they had seen the bear somewhere in this area, and I've been looking hard, but I haven't seen him. Just you know, I've been traveling the country and hiking all over the place 3 years, looking for bears, hoping to see bears in a lot of the national parks, and only seen one, and that was just 2 weeks ago when I was in the North Cascades on the Cascade Pass Trail. I saw a black bear. But other than that, I haven't had much luck. But I'll keep looking here and all the other places I go to. I'm sure I'll get lucky someday. Had a little luck with some deer here. Looks like a buck and a doe. They're right on the trail, so I want to stay here. I don't want to scare them off. There he goes. There she goes. There he goes. Cool. Never did see any of the deer. I'm sorry, not deer. I did see the deer. They're right here. Bears. I didn't see a bear. But I'm very happy to see the deer. That was a nice catch right towards the end. I'm almost done. I think I'm about a half a mile from the visitor center and the end of the trail. What a beautiful hike though. And right after seeing those deer, I see a goat. How cool is that? Okay, can't believe I got that lucky right at the end of the trail where I saw the deer and a goat. So the only thing I didn't see was the bear. Oh well, there'll be a bear another time. All right, I'm almost done. I'll check back, unless I see the bear, I'll check back in when I get to the visitor center and I'm done with the trail. Okay, one last thing I want to show you before I get to the end of the trail. It's right over here after we cross this bridge. It's this pretty stream over here, which comes from the snow and the glaciers up on the mountain. Morning.
Good morning.
And then it continues over here. And then I got to take a short walk over here. Do a little bit of a hike down. And I'll show you Myrtle Falls. It's not that far. It's paved and there's stairs, so it's easy enough to get down and up. There it is. Myrtle Falls. Alright, I climbed back up from the falls. And I think I'm going to wrap this video up here because the visitor center is just a little ways down here. But that was a beautiful hike. Highly encourage you, if you're here at this park, to do it. I give it a moderate difficulty, only because there's a little bit of climbing. But the trail's in good shape. A little bit of rocky, a little rocky in places, but nothing too bad, nothing technical. And I'm so lucky I saw those deer and the goat near the end of this trail here. That was a good catch. But if you're still watching now, appreciate you watching. And like I said, I'm going to post my pictures after I wrap it up here. And I'm going to finish it like I always do. Just keep smiling. Remember, all shall be well. More important than anything else, be grateful for everything you have. All right, until the next time, I'll see you. Love you. Again, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.